Imagine every search, every post, and all your favorite websites cease to exist. Now instead of Google, you had to use this. Baidu, one of the few legal Chinese search engines. The day is June 4th, and thousands of students go to protest in the middle of your town against an unjust law. And instead of a peaceful protest, it turns into this.
No one knows how many people have died in the crackdown. We may never know. Our own CBS News review of hospital figures indicates that at least 300 have died. The figure may be as high as 3,000 or more. Many were civilians who went into the street unarmed to challenge the military and were mowed down by machine gun fire or run over by tanks.
It was noontime today in the center of Beijing when a man walked to the middle of the Avenue of Eternal Peace, which, as it happened, was already occupied. He walked to the middle and stood there. The man was alone. The tank was not. It wasn't just a single tank he stopped. There were 18 tanks and armored carriers in this convoy, and while he talked to the crew and ignored the gunfire, he stopped all of them. One man alone, of course, can't stop an army. Except for a moment, that's exactly what happened here. For 3 minutes in the middle of the day, an army was stopped by a man who stood still.
It resulted in an estimated 2,500 dead by the Red Cross. You search the internet for details. This is what happened concerning the Tiananmen Square massacre in 1989. This is the reality Chinese citizens are living in, thanks to something called the Great Firewall, a digital system designed to censor and block outside and inside information the government doesn't like.
If you have ever been to China, you may have experienced a lack of access to the same websites you love and enjoy around the rest of the world. Websites such as Google, YouTube, and Facebook are either blocked completely or slowed to a crawl and throttled to an almost unusable state. Known as the Great Firewall of China, this censorship engine allows the Chinese government to regulate the internet and protect its citizens from dangerous content, or at least that's what they claim. Many, however, criticize China due to the sheer lack of freedom allowed when using the internet, which has landed China at the #1 spot in terms of worst for online internet freedom. As technology has advanced, the Great Firewall has seen many changes over the years with increasing complexity and sophistication. China's Great Firewall is only getting stronger with new technology and the onset of artificial intelligence to improve existing security measures. Roughly a year ago, China was able to display their dominant censorship capabilities by outright banning cryptocurrency trading overnight. With foreign cryptocurrency exchanges blocked and local exchanges forced to relocate overseas, the industry disappeared almost like it never even existed.
The fact that China has banned cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin just shows their increasing need for control over the internet in order to maintain their dictatorship. The State Council of China, part of the Chinese government, created the Cyberspace Administration of China in 2011 for the sole purpose of propaganda and censorship. The Cyberspace Administration regulates all internet traffic behind the firewall, blocking anything against the government's interests. Google, YouTube, Facebook, Wikipedia, and Discord are all either completely banned or heavily censored.
我们相当于那个环卫工人，只是我们净化的不是马路，不是小区，我们净化的是网络空间。我叫志恒，是湖南映客的内容安全负责人。
Hello， 欢迎大家进入小 C 的直播间。
审核部其实主要是对所有用户在 APP 上发布的这些内容，包括视频、音频、图片、文字，进行一个合规性的审核。然后到目前为止，我们整个审核团队大概是1200人左右。
The only way to access the real internet is through a VPN, which is heavily regulated and relatively non-existent to the average Chinese citizen. Back to the Tiananmen Square massacre, that example of completely censoring an event such as that reveals the importance of freedom on the internet. These regulations the Chinese government pushes to enhance their control open the door to the opportunity to commit as many crimes as they want without being documented. Anything related to the incident is completely blocked from their search engines. A perfect example of the dangers of information control is the novel 1984 by George Orwell. 1984 takes place in a fictional dystopian society ruled by a tyrannical government where all information is regulated and changed by administrations part of the government in their favor. An interesting fact about 1984 in China is that it's actually unbanned. The reason they do this is to make their own government seem like it's better than it is, and to show them what could happen without them. Another example of internet censorship in China is the new DeepSeek model, the rival to ChatGPT that came out recently. From something as big as covering up a massacre to something as seemingly insignificant as banning Facebook, every step further that China takes their regulations on censorship further proves that the internet is the most valuable resource for a government to control. Although it may not seem significant, completely censoring and ignoring something as simple as one event may lead to greater consequences, and it's important to watch how our own government evolves in the landscape of the internet.